Hello and welcome to Where You Not Entertained. I'm Daniel.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm James.
And we are continuing spooky season, which is getting close to being over now. And we're going to talk about Ghost Ship.
Yay.
Yeah, this was your recommendation, right, Daniel?
Yes, it was.
You love Ghost Ship?
I like it a lot, yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm a fan of Ghost Ship, even though it can be kind of hokey at times.
Man, I didn't know what you got me into when we started it, or when I started watching it, because that intro was like very like Love Boat style.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that. I
it
love
almost
the
like-
fact that like the writing is all kind of like floaty looking.
Yeah, it's like
this-
swirled in pink title card and everything, and the song that the woman's singing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so idyllic.
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
what is this supposed to be?
I think Ghost Ship is another really great one that falls into the category of kind of scary, but mostly action thriller.
Yeah, I'd
it's
agree.
not- it's not a
There
super-
are definitely some jump scares and some creepy moments, but
Yeah, it's not a super scary movie.
I don't know. Yeah,
I wouldn't call it a horror.
no,
It's kind of one of those
It-
horror movies for when you don't really want a horror movie. You just want something spooky-ish.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt a lot of Event Horizon vibes from it,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah,
in the like supernatural aspect, and then you had the salvage crew who are more, going out onto this derelict vessel and encounter the supernatural. Like it was kind of in the same tone as well, where you had all of the main character, the living characters, didn't really believe in that kind of stuff,
Right.
but were there to get a job done. And I don't know. I loved it. I love Event Horizon, so I thought this movie was actually really fun.
Yeah. Event Horizon is it's a great movie in my apparently not so humble opinion, but
Well, and to toss out the spoiler alert, because we will spoil this, but
And I'm about to spoil it bad.
oh man, I just think that the whole theme behind the Reaper is such a great arc through the entire movie.
It is pretty cool.
I'm so here for that.
I literally wrote, like as I was doing my notes, I was talking about how the intro was weird, and then they got super gruesome, and was like, wow, that's a big shift.
yeah, grab you straight out of the gate.
Yeah, and I was like, it's kind of reminds me, I'm getting like some Event Horizon vibes from it. And then the first thing I wrote is that dude ferryman, he is suspicious AF. I'm just saying AF because we're trying to keep the rating down. But yeah, I was like immediately like, this guy seems like the bad guy in disguise. Yep, nailed it.
Yeah. Turns
Yeah.
out he is the bad guy in disguise. It wasn't that good of a disguise, apparently.
Yeah, or evil can smell its kind, something like that.
No, I think he's great. It is one of those things where he approaches them in such a convenient way with this perfect lure that something's up.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have just completely good intentions in a situation like that.
Yeah, I think that he's. I think that he plays the part of I'm just kind of innocent and happen to notice this thing and want to make some money.
Almost naive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, naive, looking to make an easy batch of money, but it's still suspicious.
it is.
As a movie watcher, you're already like, oh, he's one to watch because something's wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean it is called Ghost Ship, so
Yeah, the title sets you up.
yeah,
True.
Well, that could mean just a ship that's tooling around on its own.
The front of the ship has a skull on it on the cover
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So the entire movie is based on this ship.
right.
So surely something is going on, and possibly the person that's bringing there is in on it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the moment they set foot on the ship. You have the little girl, which you see in the beginning, which this
Yeah.
took place like 60 years before the events in the movie.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And so like even if she did survive, she would be like 70. So the fact that she looked the same right there, I was like, okay, yeah, nope, ghosts, total ghosts. And so,
It was
like,
a
as the
definite-
audience, you know, the moment that they get to the ship, that yeah, this is a ghost story.
Yeah, and I'm a
Right.
huge Emily Browning fan.
She
think-
was awesome.
She is
So
so
good.
cool. She was really good in this.
This movie, by the way, is from 2002, so it is again. It is also kind of older at this point.
Yes, it's not exactly a recent addition.
No.
No, and it's got a killer cast too.
I know. I was like, holy man, that was Carl Urban early days, and I'll watch anything with Gabriel Bryan.
Right. Very true. Yeah, he did such a good job in Usual Suspects. It's kind of like, yeah, anything you're in, man.
Oh
Check it
man,
out.
there's also there's a great moment with him in this that I love what they decided to do. He got scared when he was about to take a drink from the ghost of the captain in the mirror, and he
Mhm.
drops the glass and it doesn't break. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, thank you so much. I bet you if they put a cat in here, it wouldn't walk by and go meow, because cats don't usually do that. And not every glass that you ever drop shatters into a million pieces. And it was just nice and refreshing as a moviegoer to see that.
Especially on carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, it's got plenty of things that you're like, oh, come on, guys, did you have to? But at the same time, like, did you have to have Epps afraid of rats? Like, did you have to? Like, she's a professional salvager. I'm pretty sure she's been on plenty of boats that have rats on it.
Right. That's got to be a not too uncommon occurrence.
Yeah. I feel like. So there's some of those things, but they do also have those redeeming qualities, like the glass not breaking, and I don't know. I think that the whole like ship takeover that they show you was done so well. Like,
What do you
with
mean the ship
music.
takeover?
montage.
Okay. When they
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the original.
when you see what
downfall of
actually
the ship.
happened.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool, but man, I did not like the music choice.
Oh, really?
I feel like the soundtrack really took me out of it. Like whenever what was the mechanic's name? Gosh.
Oh, Santos.
Santos, yeah.
You're talking about
When Santos
Listening to his
was
heavy metal.
yeah, when he was sitting there listening to the music and driving,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it just, I don't know. It feels really dated to me. And it is, obviously.
The
but-
movie from 2002?
Has music from 2002. Shocking.
Yeah, it is shocking.
Right. But I mean, there's also a lot of movies that just don't use a whole lot of music and soundtrack, or they kind of keep it minimalistic. And when the soundtrack comes in, it is blatant and extended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the way they used music in this.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm kind of with you. I think that it felt a little more realistic in that sense, because if you're trying to stay up and driving a boat in the middle of the night in a storm, you're going to listen to music like that. I
Yeah.
would think, at least.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've listened to lo-fi, but that's all I ever listened to anyway. So
Yeah, well, we're not all culture snobs. Some of us.
culture snobs. I'm listening to music on YouTube. I mean, listen to Bach or anything.
I listen to Coffee House Lo-Fi.
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, no, I don't mind that.
Yes, and you would be asleep and run them into the side of the boat. So good job.
Yeah,
Yeah, about 15
I lived a good
minutes.
life. Honestly, I would have done them all a favor.
Yeah.
In this instance,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, you would have.
I feel like that's a warning to anybody who gets in the car with you.
If we're going down, I'm taking you all with me.
Yeah, so one of the things that about this that I wish they had included, but they kind of skipped over, they showed how everybody else got it, right? But when it comes to Dodge, I realized kind of what they were setting up, but you just don't know like what happens to him.
Yeah, because I mean, that Ferryman got him because
Right.
you see Ferryman's eyes like pop up after he's gotten shot by Dodge.
Right.
And so Dodge, I guess, after everything, still ends up just like turning his back on him or putting a gun down. Like, I don't
Right.
know.
That's what I'm kind of curious about. Like,
You put a hole in his chest, you might as well just take his head while you're at it. Make it challenging.
I feel, at
But-
least have to put yourself back together.
Right.
Well, and to me, either it's just they picked an actor who looks really similar, or was Dodge helping carry the gold back onto the next ship?
No.
See, he always looks like Dodge. I think it's very interesting that they picked somebody who looked just like him. So I was curious if, like, did he turn him into one of his minions or something now?
All of those guys escaped. They blew up the boat. They sunk the boat. Everybody, all the souls that were taken escaped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't have anybody else that he could.
No, just him.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that at the end, though.
He is awfully manipulative, apparently.
Yep. I mean, the devil usually is.
Right. I mean, so in the original ship takeover, he got the crew to clean up the crew to clean up the crew.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, wow, nice. It's a self-cleaning heist. I mean,
And then he got Francesca to take care of the rest of them.
yeah, the Joker couldn't have done it better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he took care of Francesca.
That
Yeah.
is a pretty good analogy right there.
Yeah.
Very similar to the beginning of Dark Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Interesting. The only other thing that I was like, oh, come on. When Epps jumps into the water to try to save whoever was on the boat. I don't remember everybody that was on the boat at that point in time.
Santos got blown up and
Yeah.
Dodge was on the boat and yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're in the Bering Strait.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, this isn't like off the coast of Hawaii or something. I mean, these waters are like 30, 40 degrees.
Yeah, you'd
Die in you would freeze to death in like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Without any kind of like protection.
Exactly.
And they didn't have it.
No,
So-
it was literally like jeans and a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like they were, down in the tropics or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
that was I guess I didn't really think about that. I mean, I knew the water would be cold, but yeah, I didn't think about the fact that they were in the Bering Strait. They would be
It's like it's like the ice fishing or the crab fishing that
yeah, deadliest catch.
that show. Yeah.
Yeah,
And this
you
is
have to
cold
wear-
water.
You have to wear protective gear. It will kill you.
Mhm. But
that
yeah,
and the fact
little
that
thing.
they jumped over the side.
Yeah, like how'd they get back in?
Right. That's so my thing is like you're super, super lucky that there is somebody still up topside. And hopefully I'm assuming they just had a rope. But other than that, you're just climbing your way back up the side of the boat. Other
And
than that,
still,
you'd be
like you
dead.
got two people who are who are mostly passed out as well. Are you gonna climb a rope like 60 stories up the side of a giant ship?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna like be pulled up by the one last person that's down there? You know, like tie a loop at the bottom and put your foot in it or something. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not an easy proposition either way.
That part kind of screwed it up for me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
But-
understand what they were like, what they had to do.
Yeah, and it was more to show off the character than it was to. I mean, it's a movie about a bunch of ghosts on a ship, so
Right.
like,
It's about a soul collector that tricks people into taking over, killing, coming out to a boat, whatever. Because apparently, plenty of people had come out to that boat already. I'm assuming at his behest. So
yeah,
Yep.
didn't seem like his first rodeo.
it definitely was not. There was bodies down in wherever that compartment that was flooded. The laundry. That's where it was.
The laundry, yeah.
Bodies in the laundry. Digital watch out in the deck.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's been at it.
It was a good movie. It was better than I expected. I didn't know what to expect, but it always seemed like it was one of those really cheesy movies that wasn't very great. I mean, when you liked it, I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's a lot, you know, that's a pretty high recommendation in my boat. And so, no pun intended. But yeah, I was still like kind of had that apprehensiveness from just it looking cheesy. No, I mean, it is, but it's in the perfect way. It's really good.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit for spooky season, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like this is the, you know, a magical movie. Look how well it was done. And it's not like that at all. It's not that kind of thing. It's something that you can watch and take what's happening kind of with a grain of salt and know that they're not being overly serious. I mean, I think that the bubbly writing in
Mhm.
pink at the beginning kind of clues you into that. If you're watching this movie and you think that it's going to be like super serious, they're going to try to scare the pants off of me. No, you're watching the wrong thing.
Your
Right.
pants are firmly on.
Your pants are firmly on.
I think that
Go ship. Your pants will stay attached.
There's the tagline.
Right.
We'll take your soul, we'll leave your pants. But
That's great.
I think that despite some of the corny premise and some of the holes, the plot holes, they do a really good job with writing in this movie and acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
So
acting's
they
good.
managed to take it and make it kind of charming. When, like you said, you expected it to be really cheesy. It is cheesy, but they managed to make it nice.
Yeah,
Like
they
it's
did it cheesy in a
interesting
good
enough.
way.
Yeah.
It's not like super cheesy. It's not over camp. It's not.
No, they took some of that cheesy horror movie stuff and then sprinkled in some actually decent writing and no gore to like lean back on. And I think they made a pretty interesting movie.
Yeah. And they got a really good cast to nail it too.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
pretty much
Yeah.
everybody on the team I thought was likable or at least interesting. Isaiah Washington was great as well. I don't think we mentioned him yet.
I was supposed to say everybody on the team is, you know,
Mhm.
they're top notch actors. They're
And
good.
Carl Urban.
Yeah,
I watch anything he's in.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't think of anything that I was like, yeah, Carl Urban sucked in that. But I haven't seen all of his movies either, so there's that.
And he's been great in The Boys recently.
Yeah. He was awesome as Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Great in The Lord of the Rings.
He was great in Lord of the Rings.
Put my nerd 2 cents in there. But
There you go.
all right, despite the critics totally hating this movie,
Yeah, they did.
I think it's good. I think it's worth a watch.
Well, as I've said before, though, that these kinds of movies, I'm going to say the horror genre in general, are very, very low rated.
In general.
Yeah. I mean, you have your exceptions like Heredity, but
Yeah.
Well, in The Conjuring as
Right.
well, but
The Conjuring still was a little lower than I expect.
Yeah, it's not even 80%. It's low 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Um,
one's like in the 20s.
Yeah, no, this
Ugh.
is like
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's
That
kind
is
of
ridiculously low for this.
I think that a lot of people kind of watch movies and expect something that they're not going to receive. You know, I
I think people who consider themselves critics often have expectation of the art over enjoyment,
Yeah.
which is
'cause-
fair for a lot of things, and I think is wonderful when that happens. But also, I can just have it be dumb fun. I like the Meg.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I have very rarely ever seen movies that I was just like, wow. Like this was just flat out amazing. But
They're few.
I have fun watching movies because they're interesting, they're fun, they're built a certain way to portray certain ideas that whoever is written or directed or editing, you know, has, and you get to see what the actors think of what they've read and how they want to play their characters. I mean, that in itself is, I find that interesting, even if the movie as a whole isn't like, oh my god, which this one is not, but it's fun to watch. It's good.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. I was
Yeah.
entertained.
I mean, you could definitely sit there and say that Phantom Thread is a much better movie than this. But
It's a much
when
better film, but I would argue that your average person in the United States would have more fun watching Ghost Ship.
Well, yeah, when
Yeah.
I loved Phantom Thread, but
when it comes down to what would I like to watch on a Friday night, I would pick Ghost Ship over Phantom Thread most of the time. Not all the
Yeah.
time, but the
It-
bulk of the time, I want to just turn my brain off and have fun.
I am not. So we like movies, obviously. We talk about them all the time, but I'm not like some super movie snob. I feel like if all I were to do, like if the only movies I'll watch are Oscar worthy movies, then you don't like movies. That's not what 95% of all movies are. So you don't really like movies. You like a specific kind of movie. And I don't think that is an everyday kind of thing.
yeah.
I
think
couldn't do
that-
it anyway. I don't take myself that seriously. They would depress the hell out of me to watch Oscar movies all day.
They're usually pretty sad too, so you're not wrong there.
Yeah, they always make you feel an emotion, and it's not usually a happy one.
Yeah, rarely.
All right. I don't like
Despair.
emotions. They scare me.
Yeah.
Despair.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and hop into favorite scenes unless you guys had anything else you wanted to cover with Ghost Ship.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, then how about Daniel?
I was wondering, you're building the suspense.
Somebody's got to. The movie didn't.
You're
Oh no, it had suspense.
So-
It didn't have the horror fright.
Right. Yeah, no, that's
I was
true.
never scared, but it was suspenseful at times. I mean, I was curious what happened and what was going to happen.
So my favorite scene is actually one that I already talked about, and it's when they take over the ship. Not the very beginning of the movie when you see stuff going wrong, but
Mhm.
when the little girl basically shares her, I don't know,
She
the
touches
vision
Epps
of-
and she touches Epps and shows what happened.
yeah, exactly, the inside line on what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved that whole thing. I think it was done really well. I think it was brilliant how they played it out. How you got to see like each little piece that fell into place
Mm-hmm.
from poisoning the food to how they were like how they delivered the guns to the cooks that poisoned the food, or the people that were serving the food. Even to kind of the way the wire snapped through everybody. You get to see like how all this stuff is happening, because it just kind of looks like it's at the beginning. It just looks like it's ghosts, right?
Yeah.
You don't see anybody doing anything. You just see, whoa, this is a haunted ship and it just killed a bunch of people. Well, no, it's a bunch of people that killed a bunch of people. There's a bunch of bad people that killed a bunch of people by being coerced by even worse people who were coerced by kind of a soul collector, kind of a demon, I guess, for lack of a better term. And just how they went through that whole process. And like I said, I enjoyed the music during that portion of it as well. It kind of sets the tempo, and you get the little girl. They're both like in the scenes, so they're like in a third party perspective.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be seen, but they can see. And when she's screaming, when I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Katie?
Yes.
Okay.
Emily. Like when she's screaming, how she kind of winces and is like, ugh. That was
Mm-hmm.
I love that little touch. Not like, yes, I'm watching myself die, whatever.
She's also like, I'm 60 and I've watched this as many times as I've cared to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't do that now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get those little touches, and you wonder like, how did they clean up all the other people that weren't out on the dance floor or weren't eating? Well, they literally went through and rounded them all up and killed them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why there's the bullet holes in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of explanation in that scene. But I really enjoyed the little twists. Each time you get a little further in, it's the bad guy killing the bad guy, killing the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you get to the last bad guy, which also ends in the dead ship captain showing Murphy the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's kind of two ghosts speaking stories at the same time. And that's where you find out.
You get the reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So that's my favorite.
Nice.
That is a very, very, very good one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I kind of regret my choice now.
Too late.
All right.
Fine, you can't have it.
Well, I will go next this time.
Okay. Save it for last.
Mine is actually the very beginning. Well, not the very, very beginning, but when they're all sitting at the tavern and kind of you get the introduction to all of the different team.
Mhm.
And I just like the way that it seems kind of cliche, but it works perfectly. And then being roped in. And you get, you find out that Isaiah Washington's getting married in a month. And so there's kind of like a time frame on everything. It also is when I think that's the moment you find out Gabriel Bryan is in the movie, which I didn't look up ahead of time. But
well, I mean, you saw that he was in it when he was yelling at them when they were tugging in the.
Yeah, and in the very and they're kind of similar
So
scenes.
that's kind of part of it, yeah.
Yeah. And
exactly.
so I don't know. I liked the scene a lot when I was watching it, but now looking back and describing it, I think your scene was a better choice. And I kind of regret mine. I'm going to choose your scene.
Oh, I see.
So
I already said it's mine. You can't have it.
well, you don't get to choose that, so I'm going to take it anyway.
Fine.
Can't stop me.
No, I actually do like if you're including them tugging back the sinking. It wasn't a ship. I don't don't know exactly. It looked like part of an oil platform or something. That's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, and it just kind of gives you the whole like rundown of the crew and what they're like. And I think that's one of the things that makes the movie work so well is how much chemistry they all had together.
Yeah,
they were a
exactly.
believable crew, and Ferryman felt like an outsider to them.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think that was really well conveyed in that first scene.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I think, part of why the, I'm coming with you thing was like, ha, no.
Yeah.
Right.
But that he did. Yeah, no, that's not a bad choice.
No, it's a good one. It is your first introduction and explanation of who they are and how they fit together.
Mm-hmm. And how well they...
Kind of like a good inciting incident.
Creates good cohesion between them, so you really feel like the Reaper stands out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what about you, Rachel? What was your favorite scene?
There's no point in doing my favorite scene because it is also the musical murder montage.
Oh, okay.
I like it every time. I love the music. And when he snags the hook into the singer's face and she hangs there and then he burns the hook into her palm.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. In that red dress and the diamonds and everything. It's
in that car.
Oh,
yeah. The car was awesome.
Wow. I was so upset when bullets got shot into it. I was like, come on.
Yeah, what? You're supposed to be the guy that kills all these guys? You can't even shoot straight. You just riddled a car with bullets and it was just sitting there.
Right?
It's on a ship. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think he shot it right after he had been shot.
No, he shot it. He was spinning around
to
shoot the guys that were partying over the gold.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hopped up on adrenaline
He was
from holding a gun. I don't know.
I think he was thinking he was going to get lucky, and he just got overexcited and shot his load way early.
I was wondering if that's where that was headed.
Yeah. Remember the thing about let's keep the rating low.
Yeah.
Daniel's not going to curse, but he's going to make it work other ways.
Whatever.
Exactly. All right. Well, then I think that pretty much covers it for Ghost Ship. It was innuendo, Daniel. It was innuendo. You're correct. We appreciate you and your contribution to the podcast.
Innuendo, your Nintendo.
All right, I'm done.
All right, and I think we're done. That about wraps it up for Ghost Ship. If you like what you heard today, please go online and like and subscribe, and make sure to join us next time on Were You Not Entertained?